Hey gang, Troy. I hope you're having a kick-ass week. I'm going to start running through my report for a couple of reasons. I want to just share the learnings that I'm having around my own journey, help hold me to a higher standard as I'm doing to you, and then also share some of the insights that I'm having as part of this journey. So, like the images here are designed to be inspirational. For me, this is like bang, it's representative of the power that we all are. It's easy to forget that we are made up of like billions and billions of cells, and these cells are made up of molecules which are made up of atoms, and the power within an atom is immense. And we have that, that intelligence, that power within us. And sometimes it's just so easy to get lost here in the mental noise. So it's an opportunity to bring our attention out of that and connect into the wisdom of the body and nurture this. This is our avatar, like part of what we're going to do is really nurture this as that's the vehicle that enables us to show up in this reality. Little meditation quote, I think that's really powerful. Let's not battle with the mind, let's be the observer, and then when you're the observer, you're outside of the mind as opposed to being locked in the story. And that's part of why we do a daily practice. And for me, like ground zero is like 7 20-minute meditation. So I'm on 30 as a baseline, and then this week I apologize in advance that we had some tech issues with the focus band, and for whatever reason it was the AWS, the Amazon server. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, some of the recordings haven't shown up, so you'll see this reflected in your report. So apologies, but it's fixed. Apparently, it's fixed. So for me, like I'm now striving for 3 20-minute meditations a day. I'm gonna do one in the morning, one at lunch, and one in the evening. I've started doing that, not every day, but a good majority of the days, like probably starting about Thursday last week. And fuck me, it's profound. I'm bringing a real like determination to my meditation. So really focused on going through the process of releasing tension, right breathing, checking in if there's any major emotions there that I need to process. And then from there, I'm just really focusing in on, for me, I focus in on here, but I'm focusing in with intensity, holding my attention there. And as I get lost in stories, just gently bring it back, recommit, refocus, quiet determination, holding my attention there, holding my attention there. And then I try to go into it even more and hold my attention even more. So for me, I visualize like this white space, not unlike that. It's very similar to that here, but it's white, resonating from my heart space. And you can use a mantra, you can use whatever you want. This is just what I use. And so I'm holding my attention there, and then I'll get drawn into a thought, and then I'll bring it back, and I'll hold my attention here, and hold my attention here, and see if I can go into it even more. Like find a point within that I can hold my attention on, and just like it's almost like you've got your whole like awareness there that is rooted on that, and it becomes like this anchor. And as your mind starts to, what brings up, oh, this is important to think about, and which is like a back door for getting you into a story. The mind is so incredibly like it's just amazing, like how it captures your attention and drags you back into a story. And because they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm doing so well, I'm focusing now, and then that'll link to another story, then link to another story, and before long you realize, it got me, I'm in the mind again. So for me, that bringing that intensity, that quiet determination 3 times a day, and I'm having success in getting outside the mind and sitting there. And then what happens is I move from thinking, like, because then I'm not thinking, so then it's not thinking about it. The mind's trying to get me to think, but I don't want to think. So then it gets to the point, well, then what do you do? And because you're sitting in the stillness, then for me, it's about asking, for guidance, asking questions. So it's like a new way of operating. So should I do this? And in that, because we're then outside of the mind, connected into the wisdom that is the body, that intelligence, and that intelligence that flows through everything, the life force, we then tune into that wisdom. And that's like, for me, my hypothesis is this is the new way of being. This is where we're moving towards. Because in doing that, you're no longer isolated in this little concept of me in our heads. we're then connected to the broader intelligence, and whether you believe in angels or guides or whatever, like ancestors or the wisdom, God, whatever you want to call it, or not, but there is an intelligence, I'd like to suggest, that flows through everything. We then connect into that, so it's no longer making like localized decisions. It's like, should I do this? And so then we're being like led, and fuck me, that's powerful. So this is what we're working towards. And so for me, dropping in 3 times a day is really helping me do that. So I'm going to be, I should have some here. I know I got more than 14 here this week, but the focus band dicked out. So 21 is what my goal is. 3, so there. And then flow, like I'm going to talk a little bit about flow. And I know we've all had a sort of love-hate relationship with going for 80% or higher. And I think it's a good metric, but I thought when you look at your reports, what we want to also see is the pattern of the actual brain waves. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. And then readiness, like I was killing it. I thought I was I was getting good sleeps, getting good sleep scores. And I thought I would have, I'm disappointed I didn't get 7. And I know I've started the week off bad this week. I've got 2. So I'm aiming for 5 at best this week, which is disappointing, but you pick yourself up and you reset your focus. So for me moving forward, what I want to do is have 7, 14, 21. And I'm not so fussed about this. I do strive, like it'd be great to have like at least 7 days where I've got an 80% flow. And then 7, and then 7, and then 7. Like that's the goal, obviously. That's my goal anyway. So when I do that, I'm going to give myself a little reward. I'm not sure what that is yet. My challenge to you is to also like level yours up. So I want to see 7. I want to see flow. Ideally, let's say 7. But again, for me, it's more about the coherence and the your ability to be able to regulate your state, the pattern of the brain waves. And I'll talk more about that in a sec. And then the sleep score is readiness. Yep, I'd love to see that, and that at 7. So that's there's a lot of work for some of us to do there. But you know what? When we look at this, a lot of this is lifestyle factors. One of the awarenesses I had reading the book Lost Connection, thanks Jamie again for recommending it, is like our external circumstances are a symptom to something underlying that. Like for example, yesterday, I think this is a good example. Yesterday, I woke up, I only had 4.5 hours sleep yesterday. So yesterday was really, really clunky. And Monday was a beautiful flow. It's now Wednesday. Tuesday was really clunky because I didn't get enough sleep. Why didn't I get enough sleep? Because I had a friend that came I hadn't seen, who I used to flatmate with. Hadn't seen for about a year, and he wanted to come and hang out for a night, and so we're up to 1:30. And so it's like that decision to do that and spend time with him then impacted on my other results. So like for me, it's like this, what's the symptom? The symptom is feeling tired, and then today my nose is a bit runny, and the flow and effect of that, like just making a decision to stay up late that one night and spend time with him. So then I unpack that. Well, why is it that I chose to stay up late? And do I feel like I needed to? Like, is there a part of me that feel disconnected? Or did I feel like I owed it to him? Or could I have made a better time? Like, obviously it wasn't the ideal time for me. The weekend would have been a better time for me. And so it may be, I'll make a better decision moving forward that I will respect my time during the weeks and say, look, if we can't catch up on the weekend, we'll just catch up another time. So it's the opportunity to reflect on this, the symptoms that I was feeling tired and now runny nose today, a bit of hay fever, is a result of, staying up late. But what is the underlying reason of why I chose that? Something to consider. I want to probably reflect more on that moving forward. Anyway, I won't crap on too much longer about that, but I think it's worth looking at. So for me, deep sleep's really important. REM's like this is a killer. I had a really good night's sleep there. Flow, and this is the pattern. You know, like being able to. I don't use the warm up now. I just basically just I want to see the change in state. It's up to you whether you do that. It's relatively coherent. There's a bit of crossover, but you can see the wave like being high and being able to regulate the state. We want to be able to do that. We want to be able to regulate our brainwave states here. Readiness score, sleep. This is the one that let me down because I had to get up early. But again, being able to regulate brainwave state is pretty cool. And then same sort of thing here. Again, good sleep. Here I let everyone down by not actually doing my pillars, lifestyle pillars, kicking myself in the ass for that. I'm going to level that shit up. And what else have we got? See, this here didn't even register a flow. And looking at it, when I was looking at the data for this, my beta is really high here. Like that's really high. Everything's high here. And so what are we at? No, 7, 11. But being able to, I actually had a really good meditation. Like that was actually a really good meditation. Like I took control of my attention and held it. So again, I'm not beating myself up too much about this. I know that there's what I see is like in others is there's a real mix match of like these are all intertwined and I've seen that it kind of constitutes high stress, but I think this is good. This is fine. And this is like meditation on Friday with Chris, the guy that I've been encouraging you to hang out with. He's had ones where he's spiked my gamma. This is again a very different pattern as you'll see, like me meditating with him for 20 minutes. It's amazing like the people that we'll bring into this conversation moving forward and how they affect our brainwaves and how they affect us, you know. So like choosing the people that what's this showing me? Choosing the people that we spend time with is so super important because look at this is how it's meditating with someone that's on the other side of the planet, what it can do to your brainwaves when I compare it to my other ones. Because these are all relatively the same, right? Relatively. But then you look at something like this, completely different, right? But then I had a flow score of 49. Yeah, it's all very interesting, very interesting. And this is where the focus band crapped out. So that's kind of it. I'll chat to you all individually about yours, but one of the things I was thinking to put on here moving forward, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, is like a little bit of a leaderboard for everybody that's doing it. Not so much names, but what I can do is just put where you're actually positioned. So some people are meditating with different baselines. And the baseline just makes it harder the higher baseline makes it harder to stay under the flow lines. So we might put a leaderboard in here moving forward. Love your thoughts on that. And doesn't necessarily, it can basically just highlight everybody else's name might be blanked out, but it'll just highlight where you appear. That's probably it. So it'll be, you won't, no one else will see where you're at. You'll just see where you're at compared to everybody else relative to, I guess, the different metrics here. And I guess if you're doing 30, you'll be in a different category than somebody that's doing 15 or someone doing 20. It's really cool. I'm really proud of you guys for you, because obviously you're not guys watching this, it's just you. But I've got a neuroscientist that's going to start tuning in, just having conversations with her, and a sleep expert, dream expert that's going to start tuning in. So we'll start having greater conversations around this, and like I've been saying, level it up, and also around nutrition and activity. So I'm still working through that as well. So exciting things happening, things on the horizon. We'll keep iterating. Any questions? Let me know. Big love. All right, bye.